evening, everybody, and welcome to New York Yankees baseball on Fox 5. Tonight, the New York Yankees will begin its three-game series with their American League East rivals, yes, the Boston Red Sox. And taking the mound for the Red Sox, simply the best in the American League, Pedro Martinez. He will face off versus the left-hander Andy Pettitte for the New York Yankees. Well, 24-time World Championship, that is unprecedented in baseball, as the Boston Red Sox find their way to Yankee Stadium once again for a big series. And does the curse of the Bambino follow the Red Sox once again here at the Yankee Stadium? Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Mercer, along with my partner, Tim McCarver. Welcome to New York Yankees baseball here on Fox 5. Well, you talk about rivalries in sports. This is simply the best and biggest rivalry that I can think of. And when you start thinking about rivalries and the Red Sox, the Yankees, one of the things that come to mind, Tim, for me, is 1978.
Well, you mentioned the curse of the Bambino. You can think of the summer of '49 when they struggled to the last day of the season. It's a rivalry that started out from a geographical standpoint, but it's taken on a different connotation over the last 20, 30 years.
Well, I guess you could go on and on and on about the Red Sox and the Yankees. We'll start with this three-game series here, and we've got simply the best in the American League going and starting this first game for Boston, Pedro Martinez. And how do you beat him?
Well, he's a guy who's gone on and on and on as far as his strikeouts are concerned. 257 strikeouts leads the American League. We're going to show you 3 of them against Seattle, a game in which he struck out 15 his last outing. He gets Edgar Martinez swinging, Jay Buhner taking on the wicked breaking ball, and watch this breaking ball to Ken Griffey Jr. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball, and any pitcher in baseball would love to have any one of those 3 pitches because they are ultimate quality pitches.
Well, Pedro has bested his career high with 20 wins. With those 20 wins there now, a 2.26 run rate average. That's first in the American League. 257 strikeouts. That's first. He has a chance for the Triple Crown as far as American League pitchers are concerned. Well, we talked about right-handers. The Yankee family once again is saddened by the death as we learned that Jim Catfish Hunter passed away yesterday. And the Yankees, they want to pay tribute, as they should, and memorialize the memory of Jim Catfish Hunter. So let's go down on the field and Bob Shepard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention now to the Diamond Vision screen as we remember Jim Catfish Hunter. Ladies and gentlemen, before our anthem is played tonight, may we ask you to share in a few moments of silent prayer as we remember Jim Catfish Hunter, who died yesterday. Jim Hunter was more than a Hall of Fame pitcher. He was a Hall of Fame human being. As a pitcher for the Oakland A's and the Yankees, his record places him among the greatest. Jim Hunter was not only endowed with extraordinary baseball skills, he was blessed with the wonderful gift of friendship. He was respected and admired by both his teammates and his opponents. Jim Hunter, dead at 53. And now Eddie Layton will play our national anthem.
Everybody's mind is certainly on the Cat as the Yankees begin this 3-game series that he knew so much about here at Yankee Stadium. We'll be back. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Bobby Mercer along with Tim McCarver. That's Andy Pettitte getting ready to face this Boston Red Sox lineup. We'll take a look at Pettitte's numbers. Andy, a loser in his last outing, but up until that outing, he had won 5 out of his last 6. And he will be facing off with Jose Offerman to lead it off for the Red Sox here at the top of the first inning. Offerman, Lewis, and Garcia-Parra, the scheduled 3 for Boston. Boston winners of 7 out of their last 10, but 6.5 games back of the Yankees going into this 3-game set. First pitch outside to Offerman. Offerman, one of 2 switch hitters in this lineup for Jimmy Williams. 286 hitters, 6 home runs, and 60 runs batted in. And now Pettitte has fallen behind. 2 balls and no strikes to Offerman.
Boston Red Sox this year are a team without Mo Vaughn, but not a team without momentum.
Good point, because they have that momentum coming into this 3-game series, and they certainly know how important this 3-game series is to them. And Pettitte now not finding the strike zone. He has fallen behind 3-0. Joe Torre talking to his troops back on the road trip in Kansas City. Yankees went 3-3 on that 6-game road trip. That pitch in there for a call strike. Now it's 3-1. Once in a while, you got to call everybody together and say, look, yeah, we've had a pretty big lead in the American League East. We've won 2 out of the last 3 World Championships, but let's not lose focus, boys. We got to keep our minds based on what we need to accomplish. This season is not over with. Tough play for Pettitte. Offerman can run, and he will fire it, and they get it. So Pettitte comes back to get Offerman. Let's take a look at the rest of the lineups for Jimmy Williams. Brought to you by Thumans. Darren Lewis comes up, followed by Garcia-Parra, Mike Stanley, the ex-Yankee, Butch Husky, Troy O'Leary, Damon Buford, Jason Varitek, and Wilton Veras make up the starting 9.
And defensively, Ricky Leday in left, Bernie Williams back in there, nursing that sore left shoulder. Paul O'Neill in right, Brocious, Jeter, Knobloch, Martinez, and Joe Girardi has caught 22 of 26 Andy Pettitte starts this year.
And Darren Lewis takes the first pitch in there for a call strike. Lewis, 254 hitter, 2 home runs, 35 RBI, struggling a little bit coming into this series. Only 7 hits in his last 45 at bats. That equates to a 156 average. Now, when you have games like this, those batting slumps, just throw them out the window because everybody is up. It's World Series atmosphere, and every pitch means something. Every out means something, and obviously every win means something. Pettitte has turned it around on Lewis. Now he's in front. No balls and 2 strikes.
If you compare the Boston Red Sox with the New York Yankees, the Kansas City Royals, the Anaheim Angels, the Oakland Athletics, man for man in their lineup, it's no contest. Top to bottom in the American League, they do not have a good lineup, but they keep winning.
And that's on the inside corner, strike 3. 3 pitches, and Pettitte strikes out Lewis. 2 gone.
After a fastball away and then a curveball, the fastball in the inside corner. How about that play with Jose Offerman and that juggling act of Andy Pettitte? Watch this play as he kind of flips the ball out of the glove to the bare hand. Players before games, they play a game of flip. That's one of those times where the game of flip came in handy.
Well, we've got one of the best hitters in all of baseball as we talk about flipping somebody. Garciaparra takes the first pitch outside for a ball. What a batting race we have going on in the American League. And the top 3 are here in this ballpark tonight. Garciaparra, Jeter, they are tied at 353. Garciaparra with 21 home runs and 87 runs batted in. That pitch foul back and out of play. Now it's 1-1.
No American League race or National League race has ever finished tied. And here it is, September 10th. 2 guys are tied with Bernie Williams.
Well, if it
behind by 9 points.
Yeah, excuse me, Tim, I'm
it's
sorry.
All right.
If we want to really get down to the brass tacks, if this was the last game, we'd tell you about the decimal points. And if you have to get into those decimal points, actually Garciaparra leads Derek Jeter by just a fraction. Bernie Williams is not too far behind. Of course, Bernie now suffering from that sore left shoulder. And that pitch foul back out of play. Now it's 2-2. Talking to Jim Rice, Tim, before today's ball games. If you take a look, Garciaparra, nothing new for him. He is hot with the bat now. Rice telling me about all of the different superstitions that Garciaparra has. Of course, he goes through many different gyrations and movements at home plate.
He's a walking tarot card.
Hit hard and snagged nicely by Brocious. So Brocious helping out his teammate Derek Jeter, robbing Garciaparra of a base hit. Red Sox are gone here at the top of the first. No score. Yankees coming up. Well, back here at Yankee Stadium, the rain has gone away. The electricity, though, is in the air. As we take a look at the Thumans lineup for the New York Yankees, Joe Torre putting up Chuck Knobloch, Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez. Chili Davis back as the designated hitter. Ricky Leday in left field. Scott Brocious in third base. And Joe Girardi does the catching.
Take a look at the defense. Troy O'Leary in left field. Damon Buford in center. Darren Lewis, normally the center fielder, has moved to right. Barris, Garciaparra, Jose Offerman at second, Mike Stanley, the ex-Yankee, and Jason Varitek behind the plate. Probably the most improved player on the Red Sox this year is Varitek, and he will catch Pedro Martinez. A lot of the great pitchers have 2 great pitches, but Pedro gives you 3 quality pitches. Fastball, changeup, and a wicked breaking ball.
Not only a power pitcher, but he's also a finesse type of pitcher when he has to.
We'll explain that pendulum pitcher as the inning goes on.
Got a report brought to you by Charles Schwab as Martinez with 20 wins on the year. course, he leads in the win department, the ERA department, and also the strikeout department. And Knobloch takes the first pitch in there for a called strike. You saw Knobloch's numbers. He has really been struggling a bit. He is 0 for his last 10. And that pitch nips Knobloch. So the first batter up against Pedro is hit by a pitch, and the Yankees have a base runner.
Only the 6th batter hit this year. Here's what we mean by pendulum. Think of the hitter as a pendulum. Everybody remembers that old line. With the changeup, the hitter goes forward. With the fastball, the hitter stays backward. We'll try to give you some low first and low third shots tonight as Knobloch is brushed back away from the plate, the ball just nicking his pant leg. Knobloch leads the American League being hit by a pitch. As we said, only 6 hit batsmen all year by a guy with a reputation of throwing inside.
Yeah, 21 times now Knobloch has been hit. So Derek Jeter steps in, and Jeter with that .353 batting average. And the first pitch up high to Derek. 13-game hitting streak on the line. His high this year, as far as the hitting streak is concerned, he's had a 16-game hitting streak. He's back hitting the ball and staying behind, as he says, in the strike zone and staying behind the ball, and he's able to drive it. There goes Knobloch, and the pitch inside. Veritek's throw in the dirt, scooped nicely and tagged out by Offerman. Well, it took almost everything that the Red Sox needed to do to throw out Knobloch at second base, and they got the job done.
I thought he was in there, and the reason I thought that is when an infielder has to make a short hop play, then he has to come up. It softens the hands. Watch the throw from Veritek go in the dirt. Nope, he had him. Knobloch's left leg came up. Had it flattened out and gone right into second base, I think Chuck is safe. But because that left leg came up, Offerman made the easy tag.
2 balls and a strike now to Jeter. Jeter 2 for 4 the Yankees' last game in Kansas City. That came on Wednesday. Knobloch now has been thrown out 8 times with 24 stolen bases. Yankees testing Veritek right off the bat. Veritek comes into the game throwing out 27% of the runners as Paul O'Neill awaits on deck. And now it's a 3-ball 1-strike count to Jeter. And pitch out of play. Well, on our American Express quote book, this coming from Derek Jeter, it's big if we want to win this division. Everyone keeps asking about postseason, this postseason, that and who we're going to play, but we haven't clinched anything yet. And I think that's one of the reasons Joe Torre brought up that little meeting to remind his ball club that they really haven't won anything yet. And Derek sounding off about that. You don't want to get too overconfident.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. Consider this: the Red Sox sweep the Yankees here at Yankee Stadium, and the Red Sox are 3.5 games out of first place with 23 games left to play. So is that doable? Of course it is. Makes sense.
And they've got Garcia Parra that's healthy. Pedro Martinez back healthy again. And a strikeout. And I don't know what that was.
It looked like a fastball, and that's that pendulum we were talking about. It kept Derek Jeter back. And here is a guy who's leading the American League in hitting that looks like that. This guy can make you look foolish at the plate.
Well, just go back to the All-Star game. When he struck out, he was totally overpowering when he started that All-Star game. Was the most valuable player, striking out the first 5 hitters that were supposed to be, or they were All-Stars, the best in their league. And Pedro now recording his first strikeout in this game. 2 gone for New York, and Paul O'Neill steps in. On the other hand, that was an off-speed pitch.
Straight change, and again, to explain that pendulum theory, you saw Derek Jeter having to stay back. So move back in this. Watch Paul O'Neill come forward. See, that's what he has left-handers do, spin their power, and that's how he gets hitters in that pendulum going back and forth.
On-speed pitch again and pulled to the right side. Stanley makes his unassisted play, and the Yankees are gone 1-2-3 here in the first. So we played one, and there's no score between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Well, no score. Top of the second coming up as Boston will come up here in the second inning. Fox 5 and the Toyota dealers are proud to present World Championship New York Yankee Baseball, now available on the SAP channel of your television. Don't miss it. Boy, and don't miss this 3-game series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Red Sox lead the wild card race over Oakland by 3 games. That's really not what they're focused on at this present time. Their focus is on the American League East. And the guys that are in front of them are right out here on the field as Mike Stanley fouls the first pitch back and out of play. Well, Jimmy Williams trying to put as many right-handed bats in there versus Pettit tonight. So Mike Stanley playing first base.
Even though with a guy like Andy Pettit, it's not necessarily he is not a guy that you would platoon as much as you would most left-handed pitchers. Left-handed hitters are hitting 278, right-handers 288. Left-handers have always hit Andy rather well, too well, because he doesn't have that biting, sinking fastball that can come in off the plate to left-handers.
That pitch down low. Now it's 2-1. On deck is Butch Husky, and he's done a fine job since the trade from Seattle. Also adds some more pop from the right side for Boston. That will curve foul as it goes into right field. He has good power out there. When he was with the Yankees benefited from that power from Mike, as he used to just kind of, like he did there, reach out and just kind of flick his wrist and set it down the right field line. 16 home runs on the year for Boston with that .267 average, but only 5 extra base hits since the All-Star break. Pettit trying to paint the outside corner, just misses, so it's 3-2 now on Stanley with Husky waiting on deck. Well, Darryl Strawberry on this road trip, did he heat up or not? And he hit one of the longest home runs in that new ballpark at Edison Field in Anaheim. He just crushed one out there. So
down and in.
Down and in. What left-hander doesn't like that pitch?
Get off your deathbed to hit that pitch.
Really? That pitch is lined into center field for a base hit. First hit of this game. So Stanley on base. And will bring up Butch Husky.
Good at bat by Mike Stanley. Pitch was down, but over the middle part of the plate. Mike Stanley does not have to convince Yankee fans that he can hit. 93 through 95. 52 home runs. And Yankee fans a little surprised that he moved on, signing with Boston after that season. But the Yankees signing a little-known catcher by the name of Joe Girardi, who's behind the plate tonight.
And Husky fouling that first pitch out of play. Most of the time when Andy is on the mound, you will see Girardi behind home plate. Girardi has been behind the plate in 22 of Andy's 26 starts this year. Joe telling me before today's ball game that what happened to, he thought he wasn't out there in Anaheim, but he saw the replay and the tape of Andy's loss to Anaheim, that he just seemed to lose focus, and he didn't continue with that good focus that he had prior to losing that game. Now he's got Husky down the count 0-2. Well, one of the things, Tim, and you know better than anybody, you must establish that hard stuff inside.
Got to make the hitter know that you're going to come in there.
That you're not afraid to.
Absolutely. We talked about the left-handers. The inability of Andy to come inside allows him to hit better.
That's way inside and low.
There are a lot of outs with that antiperspirant fastball. When the arms go up. Sweet smell of success for pitchers.
Andy, one of the things that he did change with that high leg kick. Nice catch there. And it puts him in position to make a good release. It's that slider or cutter down and in on Butch Husky, so it count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
5 straight pitches inside to Butch Husky. That's one of the problems with strong power hitters. Butch has a very long swing. He's an ideal guy to come in on, but if you make a mistake in there, it could be a long ball.
Well, it's low and inside, and the count has gone to 3-2. Still nobody out. 1 man on for Boston here in the second. Bando score.
I would think that Jimmy Williams with Troy O'Leary on deck would send Mike Stanley here. If you're Mike Stanley, you have to make sure Pettit releases the ball home.
Stanley staying, and Husky lifts it out into center field fairly deep. Stanley will go only halfway, so he goes back to first, and there's 1 gone.
That's why Andy was trying to crowd Butch Husky. You can see how the arms are just not as fluid inside as they are when they're allowed to be extended.
Tying the big guy up inside.
Yep.
And that'll bring up Troy O'Leary. O'Leary 277, 25 home runs and 90 runs batted in. And the breaking ball down low.
There are several key departments of statistics that you get used to looking for as far as hitters are concerned. Slumping recently, only 4 for 24.
Hit hard and past Martinez into right field. Stanley doesn't run that well. O'Neill has a good arm, so Stanley holds at second. And now 2 runners on and only 1 out.
But the one category that Troy O'Leary is proficient at this year, he has 40 2-out RBIs. So of his 90 runs driven in, 40 have come with 2 outs. And the value of that is that with 2 outs, to drive in a runner, you have to do it, for the most part, with a base hit or a bases loaded walk. Something other than a sacrifice fly, an early ground out with the infield back in the early innings. So O'Leary leading the Red Sox in that department has been worth his weight in shekels this year.
And for a guy that was platooned most of his career.
Yeah.
But now playing every day. So the Red Sox threatening here in the second as Damon Buford takes the breaking ball in for a called strike. Buford likes the road a little bit better according to those statistics. Right now he's got a chance to put Boston in front. And Pettit just missing inside. Now it's a 1-1 count.
I'm talking about statistics. You can't figure some of them out. You got the Green Monster at Fenway Park, and a right-handed batter is hitting .215 there and 60 points higher on the road. Go figure.
I can't explain it.
No.
Buford has done a good job pinch hitting for Jimmy Williams. Now it's 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Red Sox, they looked like that they were going to fold up and just kind of fade away in the American League East about a month ago. Yankees had, I think, a 9-game lead on them. Swing and a miss. They have fought their way back through various injuries and some malcontent amongst some of the players. But they seem to be extremely resilient. And now they have themselves back in the race. Pedro is back healthy again and back happy again. Now low ball 3, 3-2.
This is a formula for bad things to happen to Andy Pettit. As we take a look at the standings in the American League East, the Red Sox 6.5 behind the Yankees. 7 back in the loss column, however, but they are 3 ahead of the Oakland Athletics in the wild card standings, 5.5 ahead of Toronto.
Did he go? Pettit thought that maybe he went a little bit too far, and he did. They asked first base umpire Rocky Rowe for the appeal call, and they got it. That's going to really heat up Jimmy Williams.
Now Jimmy Williams could be run from this game immediately because you cannot challenge. You can't challenge balls and strikes. Now technically, I guess on a technicality, the home plate umpire could run him. I'll tell you, it was very, very close. Did he go? Better angle right here. I don't know.
He did with his legs. I don't know if he went with the bat, but Jimmy went out there to express his, obviously, his anger. But he went out there to protect Buford more than anything else.
Yeah, I guess that was his argument. Yep, good point.
Jason Varitek now is the batter with 2 outs. Well, let's take a look at the umpire crew. And there are some new umpires in baseball, and one of the new ones is Jim Reynolds calling balls and strikes tonight. Derwood Merrill, old veteran at third base, John Hirschbeck at second, and Rocky Rowe at first. Jeter will flip the knob. So no harm done. Pettit was in a bit of a jam. Jimmy Williams has heated up. No score. We go to the bottom of the second. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Bobby Mercer along with Tim McCarver. It's a good old-fashioned baseball game once again here at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, Bernie Williams is back after some MRI scans on his left shoulder. He has been bothered by that left shoulder for quite some time, and they finally have concluded that it's inflammation and tendonitis. Bernie's still having a good season despite that sore shoulder. 100 RBIs, 100 runs, third time in his career. Yankees 3 seasons with 100 runs and 100 RBIs, and he joins a pretty good crew there.
Can you imagine Lou Gehrig doing that? 100 RBIs and 100 runs scored in 14 different seasons. That's mind-boggling. 3 more years than Babe Ruth did it.
Hey, I agree with you, but look what we have again in 1999. We've got another guy that's going to hit more than 60 home runs. Sammy Sosa with 59 going into tonight's game. And everybody knows what happened last year at the home run department.
That's that one fastball right there, that high fastball that with that bad left shoulder that Bernie Williams would have a tough time with. You do Bernie a favor by throwing him something other than the high heater.
You know, that's a good point, because not only do broadcasters read the paper, not only do just regular people read the paper, but opposing players read the paper. They know about sore shoulders, and Pedro obviously going to take advantage of trying to pitch to Bernie and take advantage of that sore shoulder and being able to get on top of a high heater or whatever.
Ball that's down in the strike zone shouldn't be nearly the problem as getting on top of that high hard one. You have to have a shoulder that is loose, flexible, and healthy in order to do that.
And you can see Martinez still trying to establish that good hard fastball inside both the right-hander and the left-handed batter. Now it's 2-2 to Williams, with Tino waiting on deck. Bernie third in the American League in that batting race at 344. What a nasty pitch that was. Oh, wow.
Now Bernie complaining that ball's a strike.
Yeah, you bet.
That's not even close.
Second strikeout for Martinez.
Watch where this ball goes over the plate. Right in the circle. Finally got one right. Bernie Williams is almost out of the box when he hits.
Martinez only 27 years old as he faces Tino Martinez. And I think when you're up there against the pitcher Pedro, you've got to be ready for every pitch that he throws. And he is normally around the strike zone, throwing a lot of strikes. Bernie's still a little bit puzzled over that other pitch, but it looked like a good pitch to me.
It is not where the catcher catches the ball. You could clearly see that Varitek caught the ball out of the strike zone down. But with Martinez, you are dealing with a different pitcher. The break on the breaking ball. Now that's his third best pitch too.
Just missing inside. Now it's 2-1. That is the brother of Pedro. That's Ramon Martinez. And he is back on the roster and has made one start after coming back from a terrible arm injury. Nobody ever thought he would throw a baseball again. And he has worked himself back into starting for the Red Sox.
Reconstructive surgery on that right arm. I am not sure whether Ramon will start again, however. The Red Sox do not have the luxury of trying different guys. You got to know when a guy takes the mound.
Yeah, and they've got some bad news again today because Kent Merker, who was scheduled to pitch in this 3-game series, has been scratched, and he is in for another MRI to see what's wrong with maybe a rib cage type of injury. Merker acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals.
There's Mark Portugal, who will be the starter tomorrow. Brett Saberhagen off the disabled list will start on Sunday.
Lazy fly ball into shallow right center field. Buford takes care of it. 2 gone for New York.
I wonder where that term, that is so appropriate. Rod Beck added to the Boston bullpen with that term lazy fly ball. You know, what's the definition of a lazy fly ball? I think a lazy fly ball is one that doesn't jump off the bat. There's hang time to it. It kind of hangs there like thick air.
I kind of think of it as an outfielder just kind of lazily getting over to catch it. You know, taking his time, and no big deal. Not having to sprint to a spot or turn his back on a ball.
Yeah. But even on lazy fly balls, you get a reaction out of the crowd because they realize grounders out of the ballpark don't count.
That's true. And the Yankees would like to have one of those out of the ballpark as Chile takes one high and inside for ball 1, strike 1 off Davis. Now Joe with some options as far as his DH is concerned. In fact, he's got quite a few options with Jimmy Leyritz and also Darryl Strawberry back with the Yankees. High and deep to right field. That is not lazy. That's a home run. And the Yankees lead it 1-0.
It has for the last 81 years. As my partner said, that was NL, not lazy.
I know one thing, it made the bleacher creatures happy. Check them out there.
Well, you talk about the difference in two fly balls. We see Tino Martinez with that, as Bobby called it, lazy fly ball, and you called it appropriately too when Chile hit that laser to right. Man.
18th home run of the year for Chile.
And only the 9th given up by Martinez.
Way inside to Ricky Latte. Well, there's a little leather work going on in the Boston dugout, or is that the bullpen?
That's Mark Portugal. He will be the starter tomorrow, and that's what starters do the night before they pitch. They can drive you crazy in the dugout. Of course, any pitcher could. Just get away from me.
They're in their own world.
Sit someplace else.
Inside, it misses. So now it's 3 balls and a strike with 2 men out till a day. Ricky had got his average up to over 300. He has backed off to 288. Only 2 for his last 19. Scott Brocious waits on deck for New York. Good swing by Leday.
Yeah, I think, Bobby, the one reason that Chile had some extension on that ball, that pitch was down in the strike zone. We've talked about Chile being a low ball hitter. And if he can get a ball down, that ball not really down and in, down and on the inside part of the plate, That's where his extension comes from. Boy, did he crush that.
Good pitch by Martinez, his third strikeout of this game. But Chili Davis now is the difference as he launched one here in the second inning. Let's take another look at it. Yankees lead it 1-0. Well, top the third, you see it. The Yankees take a 1-0 lead. And that guy right there enjoying this Yankee Red Sox rivalry along with that fan there. Some young and good-looking guys here at Yankee Stadium tonight. They are a Toyota everyday fan. Bless her heart, she has some beautiful hair, doesn't she? My.
Coiffed to perfection. We talk often that a bat is an extension of a hitter's arms. Look at that. And we talk about reach also. Chili Davis reaching for that fastball over the middle of the plate and just cranking it out to right field.
That's Wilton Veras. That's great. I'm glad you brought that up.
The extension of your arm.
Yeah.
The bat is there about what? 60 inches long. It's in the sweet part right there. Boy, that is some swing right there.
You can see bat speed in that frame there.
Little blur right there. Well, Red Sox are becoming unwound. They're unraveling.
They took the hide off. I've been wanting to look inside one of those baseballs, and it looks like Mark Portugal is going to give me a chance to take a look at it. We saw what the hide looks like, and now we're going to see what the middle part of that baseball is going to look like. Well, everybody's had a chance to see Pettit at least one time. Offerman up for his second trip. He is 0 for 1. Just missing outside, and now he has fallen behind 2-0. Well, the last time Strawberry and Chili talking that home run over, what he had to do, how he did it. There's some sluggers talking about baseball there. That's high into right field. O'Neill takes care of it. 2 gone.
Well, in order to pull a Pedro Martinez fastball, you've got to guess fastball. There's no way to guess anything other than fastball and get around on that pitch, even if it is in the sweet part of the plate for Chili Davis.
Well, I think that you almost have to guess fastball every pitch and adjust to all the other stuff.
That's right. That's right. Particularly when a guy has the disparity of pitches like Martinez, who throws a changeup about 20 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
Aaron Lewis, who struck out his first time up. Dieter at short. Lewis is gone, and so are the Red Sox. Pettit shuts them down. 1-2-3. Yankees lead it 1-0. Back at Yankee Stadium, Scott Brocious leads it off for New York here in the bottom of the third. Strike 1 to Brocious. 251, 14 home runs, 65 runs batted in. Remember, Brocious knocked in 98. Batting 7th, 8th, and 9th for New York last year. And a knee buckling breaking ball for strike 2. Brocious only 1 hit in his last 17 at bats. And if he gets a hit tonight, it won't be easy off of Pedro. That's up high for a ball. Now it's 1-2. Very appropriate sign here at Yankee Stadium, and I'm sure that's for Brocious. High fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. 4 strikeouts now for Martinez.
Here's that high rider. He throws it from below the shoulder, and that gives the appearance of the ball riding. Now, physicians, not physicians, but those in physics, I guess they're physicians, other than doctors. But those in physics, those doctors of physics, say that a ball can't rise. Well, it can rise if it's thrown from a lower plane. You throw it up, and it rises, just like the ball did on Scott Brocious.
Sometimes people will debate that.
But if you throw it from down here and you're throwing it uphill, it rises. I've never understood how guys spend their time in a lab and without a bat, you know,
Well, I know one
and want to tell you what a baseball does. But I can guarantee it rises.
0 for 2. I flunked physics, so I'm going to go with you.
I never took physics to flunk it.
I didn't either. I'm just kidding.
It almost came out as physics.
But if I had I would have flunked it. 3 great pitches, and Girardi is gone.
I'm telling you.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Martinez.
15 times this year, Pedro Martinez has struck out 10 or more. 15. 5 times he's had 15 or more strikeouts. That's the breaking ball, and you could see him get on top of that pitch to have it go down. So he'll move that arm motion from a little bit above the shoulder to a little bit below the shoulder for his release.
Well, Pedro Martinez started tonight's game with 257 strikeouts. The next guy to him is Aaron Seeley with 166. Well, there are some Boston fans, it appears to be, in that bleacher creatures are Pedro Martinez fans with Boston uniforms on.
They call that the Kmart section. I love it.
That popped up. And like Pettit, Veras takes care of it. And like Pettit, Martinez with an easy inning. So, very innovative fans always here at Yankee Stadium. Kmart fans in the creature section. We'll be back. Yankees lead it 1-0 here in the top of the 4th.
And Nomar Garciaparra leads it off for the Red Sox. Chili Davis' home run is 18th of the year. It is 1-0 Yankees here in the 4th. Garciaparra grounded to third his first time up on a fine play by Scott Brocious. First pitch from Andy Pettit's low and away. Ball 1 to Garciaparra. Grounded back to Pettit. Snow cone. 1 out.
Tim, that's the 3rd time that a hitter from Boston has grounded back to Andy Pettit. That is an indication that that cutter or the slider is working on the right-handed batter. They swing as the slider comes in on down and in on them. They're swinging on the top of it and grounding it into the ground.
Andy made one play off Jose Offerman on a 3-2 pitch to lead off the game. And then opening the 3rd inning, Wilton Barris grounded one back to Andy. And now to open the 4th, Nomar Garciaparra, a ground ball to Pettit. Fouled away by Mike Stanley. Mike with a single in the 2nd inning. Red Sox had runners on at 1st and 2nd and 1 out. And a disputed 3-2 pitch to Damon Buford. First base umpire Rocky Rowe called him out, said he went around too far. Jimmy Williams came out to protest, but as Bobby said, more to protect Buford. And instead of having the bases loaded, they had 2 on and 2 out, and then Jason Varitek grounded to short. Low to Stanley, 1-1 to Mike.
Stanley is so respected on this Red Sox ball club, the same way that he was when he's with the Yankees. Stanley not able to catch anymore, but he can play first base. He can DH and pinch hit for Jimmy Williams, and somewhat the leader on this ball club. You ask people about what Stanley means to the ball club as Husky waits on deck, and they say, well, he means a lot because he is a guy that plays and shows by example.
Slider is inside and low, 3-1 to Mike Stanley.
Nice guy, and always comes prepared to play.
Stanley, I presume.
Stanley.
This one hit deep to center field. Bernie Williams off the base of the wall. So Bernie Williams couldn't track down the Stanley fly ball to center. So Mike, the 1-out base runner at second base.
Well, not only is he respected, but he also can hit. He is 2 for 2 tonight. With this line shot into center field. Bernie gave it a good effort. Nice carom off of the wall.
You know, Bobby, I would think that left shoulder on balls like that, that left shoulder would be a problem also. As Mike Stanley picking on that 3-1 pitch to drive it deep to center.
Well, he showed the bat speed with Chili Davis. You saw that blurred part of that picture there as Stanley was making contact with the ball.
Here's Butch Husky. Butch a ground out. Make that a fly out his first time up. Husky 0 for 1.
I think Andy Pettit thought that this ball was out in center field. And then he gets a bit of a reprieve.
And he should be backing up third then instead of watching the ball. You can't be a spectator.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes to Butch Husky. Fouled away, 1-1.
And he's staying right in on the hands of Husky. That's how he got him out last time. And you almost have to stay in there until he proves that he's going to be able to hit that pitch. Andy always trying to bust those big right-handers, keep them from extending those arms. You can see how he's tied up. Look at this arm, how he had to play it back in there.
Just the opposite of the home run by Chili Davis. There's no extension. In again to put the fat part of the bat on the ball. You're going to pull it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Husky.
And we talked about hitters cheating a little bit on fastballs inside. Husky appeared to have been looking and cheating a little bit on that fastball.
1 out, 1-0 Yankees here in the 4th.
Well, when you get inside conscious, that's the time that you can go away.
They go away, and Husky hits it away to right field. Paul O'Neill there. There are now 2 outs. Good call, partner. After pounding Husky in, Andy Pettit and Joe Girardi elected to go away, but Husky's staying right with it.
You know, you almost have to put this in the back of your mind because he hasn't had a good swing inside, but he had a good swing with the pitch outside. And even though he was behind in the count, he was able to, to line it into right field on what appeared to be an off-balance type of swing.
Just muscle the ball the other way.
You better be careful the next time.
So there are now 2 outs. Stanley stays at second base. Here's Troy O'Leary, who grounded a single to right field, his first at bat. Funny how the game works. Mike Stanley comes into the game hitless against Andy Pettit in 10 trips and is 2 for 2. 2 of the 3 Boston hits. Mike, the second base runner for the Red Sox to reach second base. 1-0 Yankees on a home run by Chili Davis off Pedro Martinez. Ball 2 to Troy O'Leary.
Troy O'Leary nickname is Yum Yum. Don't ask me why. But this 2-0 pitch, he'll be looking to a Yum Yum one.
Curveball is high. 3 balls and no strikes to Yum Yum. See if Yum Yum chooses a sweet one here. Low, ball 4. So O'Leary is aboard. That'll bring up Damon Buford, who struck out his first time up. There are a lot of words, Bobby, that have been used in the 90s that are kind of signs of the times, words of the times. Focus is one of them. Underachieving is another, one of our favorite words. That usually spells failure by the person who names himself an underachiever. And so rather than saying that he just failed and didn't do it, he's underachieving. Low strike to Buford, 0-1. But one word I think that can be said about the Boston Red Sox is that they are, as a group, overachievers. These guys, without a star, I mean, you've got Garciaparra and Martinez, and that's it as far as star power is concerned. You look down this lineup, and you wonder how they do it. Jeter to Knobloch. They're not doing it against Andy Pettit. Andy has the Red Sox shut out through 3.5. 1-0 Yankees. We'll be back. A moment before the game in memory of Jim Catfish Hunter, who passed away yesterday, and his friends responded. Willie Randolph, of course, one of them. Here's what he had to say about Catfish Hunter before the game.
And I remember more of it just kind of just good-natured needling. I remember one game, he used to always call me the Rain Man, because it was one game where I had a bad hamstring. And you know, Billy Martin took me out of a game because he didn't want me to injure it on the slick turf. And so he took me out of a game on the 8th inning. And I remember Catfish riding me. To this day, he used to ride me about being the rain man because I couldn't play when it rained, which was a bunch of junk. But it never, you know, it was a time where he passed where he even called me the Rain Man. So I remember those special moments, times where he just wanted to show his way of caring and needling me a little bit.
Breaking ball is high to Derek Jeter. And Bobby, you were a teammate of Catfish Hunter's for many years, and he was not only a terrific player, but as Bob Shepard said in introducing the moment of silence tonight, a great human being. Derek Jeter to right field, and it's caught by Darren Lewis. One out here in the 4th.
You know, Tim, we know all about Cat's incredible career as a baseball player and as a teammate, but I think the thing that players want most in their careers and in their legacies for people to talk about and when they refer to a player is respect. Catfish Hunter had everybody's respect as a person. And
transcended respect. Dignity is certainly one of the words that is used from a dignified standpoint to talk about some players. And even I didn't know Catfish, but you don't have to know somebody personally to see how he's respected by the people around him. Here's Paul O'Neill, who takes a strike. Ground ball, first base. Easy play for Mike Stanley. 2 quick outs here in the 4th.
Nobody was safe. We saw a shot of the snatcher, better known as Chris Chambliss. That's what we used to call him. I think Cat is the one that nicknamed him that too, because of the way he used to catch the ball at first base. Nobody was safe when the Cat was around. I can tell you that. He started needling you and jabbing the moment the game started. And if you were on a trip, it lasted on the bus, and then it lasted on the plane, and then it lasted on the bus going to the hotel. And then he picked it back up again when you got to the ballpark the next day.
Bernie Williams fouls it away. Jim Codd, our buddy with MSG and friend for a long time, tells the story of how Lou Piniella used to get on Catfish on the bus. He said, you know, a guy goes out and robs a 7-Eleven, and they put him in jail. He said, you come over here and you take $600,000 from George Steinbrenner every year. You ought to be in jail. And from what Kitty has told me, Catfish and Lou Piniella, the way they used to go at one another was hilarious.
The two best. And Cat used to start with Lou. That's who he used to start with.
Might as well go to the top, right?
Might as well go right to the top. The quickest guy to really, you know, get underneath his
and agitate.
Get the hair standing up on his neck with Lou. And then from there on, it just kind of all fell into place.
2 balls and a strike to Bernie Williams. We're in the 4th, 1-0 Yankees. Pedro Martinez has struck out 5. He has retired 6 in a row since the Chili Davis home run. Andy Pettit, on the other hand, has given up 3 hits and no runs. 2-2 now to Bernie Williams.
Well, you know how those nagging injuries can always find its way to try to destroy a year for you. And especially a hitter when he has to use his hands or his shoulders, and every time you swing, you're a little bit worried in the back of your mind that you have that you know, that catch or that tendonitis in your shoulder, and you don't always go ahead and release it like you normally would.
Because you're afraid you're going to swing through the ball. If you make contact, it doesn't hurt. But the time that it's going to hurt Bernie is when he swings through one of those high fastballs. 3-2 to Bernie Williams. High breaking ball, and Ferris gets his man. Fine play by the young Wilton Ferris, only 21 years old. It is 1-0 Yankees on the Chili Davis home run. That one hit for the Yankees, a home run by Chili Davis off Pedro Martinez. We are in the 5th inning of a ball game that is turning out so far about what you'd expect. Andy Pettitte is 5-2 since July 28th. Pedro Martinez has won 5 of his last 6 and enters the game 20-4. Right side trickle through single for Jason Varitek. Second time in this game that the Red Sox have their leadoff batter on, and we'll see if Jimmy Williams goes against the book and bunts with Veras here.
Well, you've got the young hitter coming up. You can see Varitek going the other way. That almost took everybody by surprise when you have a late swing and kind of slash it the opposite way. I think you can just about expect anything in this situation. If I was you got the leadoff men coming up, I wouldn't be surprised if Veras doesn't bunt him over.
Normally you don't do that, bunt to tie on the road, but you have Pedro Martinez pitching. Pettitte trying to find out what Veras is going to do.
Sure, no bunt on that one.
Yep, no bunt. Little looper fouled away. 0-1 to Wilton Veras. We mentioned he's 21 years old. He wears his socks like he's twice that age.
Well, you know who that reminds me of? We talk about Boston and this big series. That's Carlton Fisk type of pants and the way he used to wear his socks. At least that's the way I remember Carlton, better known as Pudge. Those high socks.
Jose Offerman on deck, more the pajama style of pants. Brocious quickly to Knobloch, back to first double play. Chuck Knobloch turned a double play. A lot of guys don't turn. 2 outs.
Well, you got to give Knobloch a lot of credit. Watch the throw. It's low. He stays with it and prepares himself as he anchors his feet to make a strong throw back to Martinez. Not a good throw from Brocious, but picked up nicely by Knobloch to complete the double play. You always have the runner bearing down on you. Watch Knobloch have to go down on one knee, brace himself, get rid of that runner, and then throw it back to first base.
Chuck has seen that ugly problem rear its head. The routine throws to first base. But not there when he had a chance to react and react quickly. Nice play, Chuck Knobloch. 1 ball, no strikes now to Jose Offerman. Well, that Varitek really barreling into Knobloch. You're right, Bobby. 2-0 now to Offerman.
Well, watch Varitek trying to take Knobloch out. And he does the job, but it's after the fact. Well, that's the reason they teach those second basemen on how to use their footwork down at second base and also how to use the base as a protection piece with those guys bearing in.
What Chuck did then. Varitek in effect had to go through the bag to get him. Strike 2 to Offerman, 2-2.
And as physics would tell you, if we talk about physics, you mean. If you try to slide through a second base bag, you don't get to the runner quite as fast. You slow up a bit.
I learned that in my physics class that I never took.
I just try to simplify things.
Still 2-2 to Offerman.
I can hear Bill Webb and Leon Swire down in the truck going, what'd they just say?
Ground ball that takes a bad hop past Brocious. And it's a base hit, and that's a good call. That ball was wicked. Brocious was down. The ball came up, and Offerman, the 2-out runner.
Well, the ball is hit hard. Watch the ball come up on Brocious right there. He had the glove down, waiting for the ball. It appeared that it was going to stay close to the ground right there where the glove is. And then all of a sudden, as the ball hits the dirt portion, it just comes right up on it. Well, that's the reason they named it the hot corner. Those reactions have to be quick because the ball gets on top of you in a hurry.
Darren Lewis, the batter, with speed on at first base. Lewis leads the Red Sox in steals with 16. Offerman is second with 15. Against Andy Pettitte, very difficult assignment.
Yeah, you got the best pickoff artist in baseball, or one of the best.
Talk about guessing with Martinez. Base runners have to guess with Andy Pettitte. Guess he's going home. And he did. This one tapped by Lewis to short, and Jeter shuffles over to Knobloch. Andy Pettitte has bested Pedro Martinez through 4.5. 1-0 Yankees. Tino Martinez on the changeup, dribbles one foul. Tino with a lazy fly ball as first at bat. Flying out to center field. 1-0 New York. On the outside corner, 10 of the first 14 pitches to each hitter have been strikes. 10 of 14 first pitches for strikes by Martinez. He is relentless. Yankees, however, on a home run by Chili Davis, lead it 1-0. And Martinez down on strikes. 6 strikeouts for Martinez. This family is from out of town, way out of town. When your aliens disguised as humans try to fit in, you never know what will happen next. Don't miss Third Rock from the Sun, starting September 13th at 6 p.m. on Fox 5. So Monday night, 6 p.m., Third Rock from the Sun. And here is Chili Davis, who hit the third rock from the Sun his last time up.
Get the Kmart sign.
Yeah. That is 6 Ks by Martinez, by the way, the strikeout of his namesake, Tino Martinez.
Well, Joe really gets an opportunity. We talked about the first time that Chili was up, getting a chance to rest Chili. Chili appeared to get tired a little bit and didn't have a quick bat, but in the second inning, watch how quick his bat is here on that fastball.
That last pitch, an example of what Chili Davis can do to a fastball when it's down, and one that's up. Had a good breaking ball for Martinez. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Chili Davis. Here's that 1-0 fastball, or the breaking ball, I beg your pardon. That 1-1 pitch, nasty from Martinez. And there it is again, the high fastball, Bobby.
Yeah, you were talking about the high fastball and Chili having a problem getting the bat through the strike zone. That bat dragging. Of course, on a high pitch, and especially with the movement that Martinez has, I mean, it's very difficult to get on top of that pitch, and normally you're behind it all the time.
Even when you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Time call by Jim Reynolds. Usually Pedro not shaking off for a changeup. That's, generally speaking, bad policy to shake off for a change. Fastball, drilled foul again. Still 1-2.
Terrible situation for Davis to be in. The reason I say that, because I almost can put myself in this situation.
Sure.
1 ball, 2 strike count. I've missed 2 fastballs, so I've had my chance. And Pedro Martinez can throw anything. We've already seen the great breaking ball. He's got the changeup. What do you look for?
Fastball inside, 2-2 now to Davis. He has such an arsenal. All hitters are defensive with 2 strikes for the most part. Very few good 2-strike hitters in the game. Tony Gwynn's one that comes to mind. Wade Boggs was in his prime. Chili Davis grounds it foul, so Davis up there battling.
You almost, when you're in Davis's position now, you almost get into that defensive type of hitting.
Sure.
And what I mean by that is you don't want to strike out. You want to try to put the ball in play if you can. So you choke up on the bat a little bit, spread your stance out so you don't overstride, and just try to put the darn thing in play.
It's not to say that a power hitter becomes a punch hitter, but you cut down on your swing, you cut down on your thinking, you protect the outside part of the plate. It's a whole different series of thought processes. Low at the changeup, now full count to Chili Davis.
Basically what we're saying is once you get into that 1-2 count or that 2-2 count, the percentages are not with you against a guy like Pedro Martinez to hit the ball hard.
So you're more inclined to try to find a hole. On the other hand, Chili Davis can afford his last at bat to guess fastball because it was a 1-ball, no strike count. He got the fastball and hit the home run that put the Yankees ahead 1-0. Change up, strike 3. A 3-2 change up to Chili Davis, 2 outs.
Well, you just see what kind of confidence that Martinez has in all of his pitches on a 3-2 count. He changes up on Chili. You heard Tim talk about the pendulum. Check that out. He's gone way out in front.
Boy, that really showed it right there. Chili Davis spinning himself forward, taking the hands with him. And taking strike 3. Ricky Ledea strikeout victim. 0-1 to Ricky.
Ricky talking about being too anxious at home plate and jumping at the baseball, which means that he's moving his head and jumping out and not keeping the hands back and keeping the head back, and you don't get a good view of the baseball once it comes in there. You're way off balance.
Ricky had to one-hand that ball. It was that far inside.
Well, he's crowding the plate, and consequently, Martinez not afraid to go in there. It looked like he had a little bit of a spin on like a cutter or something. Look how Ledea is tied up. He tied up so much that he broke his back.
Five and 1, earned run average under 2. That's since he came back from the designated or from the disabled list. 10 and 1 against teams over 500. He will win the Cy Young Award. There's no doubt about it.
And he should.
He could lose five in a row. His next 5 starts. And still win it.
Cy Young is over with.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean,
put it next to Martinez's name.
Yep. Change up gets Ricky Ledea. 8 strikeouts for Pedro Martinez. We have played 5. 1-0 Yankees. Nomar Garciaparra with more ticks than a summer forest.
You know, I thought Wade Boggs was the most superstitious guy that I've ever seen. Well, this guy right here, Garciaparra, takes the cake. You see all the things that he goes through before he can even hit.
Curveball outside, ball 1.
He does that little, he'll always go through, check the gloves, check the sweatpants, and he'll use his feet, you know, and kick them back and forth. And he has told us that the reason he does that is because when he first had a pair of baseball shoes, they were too big, and he had to kick them down, you know, to get his feet properly put in the shoes. But he always goes through those same different motions.
Were his gloves too big too?
No.
1-1 to Garciaparra. Low, ball 2.
But he also has a lot of other things. I mean, he has the worst looking T-shirt that I've ever seen underneath that uniform.
I couldn't agree with you more.
When I walked in the clubhouse, I thought the moths had been in there for about a year chewing on his shirt.
3 balls and 1 strike. It looked like shrapnel had taken the better part of that T-shirt.
Favorite shirt.
Evidently,
yeah.
Better be.
He's got some things on his thighs.
Ball 4. The third Red Sox to reach a board.
And he also walks up the steps one step at a time. That's another little superstition that he has. He goes through the same little different motions. Now Wade Boggs, there you go. There you go. That's the fourth inning. Exact same thing. Now Wade Boggs will not go out on the field until a certain time, until that clock ticks.
Maybe it's something about playing in Boston. Curveball is over to Mike Stanley.
And of course, we know that Wade also eats chicken every day.
Yeah. It would be difficult with Garciaparra going through those mannerisms to eat soup, I'll tell you that.
Talking to Jim Rice, Wade Boggs.
Or rice, for that matter.
Jim Rice says that, in his opinion, Wade Boggs can't hold a light to Garciaparra as far as his superstitions and mannerisms go.
Well, he can't do that either. Hold a light. Can you imagine trying to put the thread through a needle and say, Nomar, can you do this for me? Here, Nomar, I need my socks darned. How about threading this needle for me, will you?
Despite all of those things that he goes through, what a heck of a player he is.
Obviously he is, but we're pointing out his idiosyncrasies. Yeah, that's by no means making fun or anything like that. That's just the way he is. You can stand on your head for all anybody cares as long as you produce. And can he ever produce? You also don't realize how strong he is. He's got that lithe strength. When you see him with the shirt off, you know, those long muscles that are ideal for baseball. Strike on the outside corner now. 2-2 to Mike Stanley. 1-0 Yankees here in the top of the sixth. Nobody out. Garciaparra on at first and Butch Husky on deck. Nomar with 13 stolen bases. He's been caught 3 times.
And like Jeter, he has speed and he has speed to steal bases, so you got to keep him close.
That was interesting. Derek Jeter would be covering should Garciaparra run, which would indicate a fastball outside to Stanley. We'll see if Derek decides to cover again here. He'll always give that sign to Knobloch once he sees the sign from Girardi. Open mouth, that means Knobloch is covering. Something inside, and it is inside. 3-2.
Well, you know, we know about the competition between the Yankees and the Red Sox for the American League East Division race. We also got a feeling that Derek Jeter and Garciaparra in this batting race, they've also got competition going on amongst themselves in this 3-game series.
Garciaparra will be running here. Knobloch will be covering. Garciaparra not running, and this one hit deep to right field, and it's going to be a home run for Mike Stanley. A 2-run homer for Mike Stanley puts the Red Sox in front 2-1 here in the 6th inning.
Pedro now with the lead, and very familiar here at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankee fans seeing Mike Stanley go the opposite way into that right field section.
And Bobby, you said that earlier when Mike Stanley just missed a home run by about 8 feet.
Well, he has done it so many times here at Yankee Stadium, especially when he was wearing the pinstripe. And on a 3-2 pitch, he is deadly in that area. Mike knowing that it was gone. And once again, you look down at your scorecard and you see the leadoff walk coming around to score.
So Garciaparra, who had walked, scores in front of Stanley's 17th home run, and here's Butch Husky. Pettit has been inside all night long to Butch Husky. The only pitch away from him was his last at bat, a 3-2 fastball that Butch hit hard to right field. Back inside. 0-2 now to Butch Husky.
Well, I know one thing. What we have seen from Butch Husky tonight, especially on the pitch outside, on the inside. Let's take a look at Mike Stanley again. You can see the pitch, not a bad pitch on the outside part of the plate, but Stanley is deadly out there. Look where that pitch is. Right here on a 3-2 pitch. That's a pretty good location.
Sure is.
But Stanley with great power to the opposite field.
Fly ball center field, easy for Bernie Williams. And just sometimes you have to say, hey, look, the other guy's getting paid to do that. He's going to do that sometimes. Fine piece of hitting by Mike Stanley, who is 3 for 3. The Red Sox have 6 hits. Stanley, half of them. Single, double, home run. Here's Troy O'Leary. Lined into center field. It was not hit hard. Bernie Williams obviously can't get to it. So Troy O'Leary now 2 for 2 with a walk, and that'll bring up Damon Buford, the center fielder.
And once again, you got to give the hitter a little bit of credit because that was a pretty good pitch. It not hit hard. It got in on the hands of O'Leary, but it found a place.
The Yankees have 1 hit. Chili Davis's 18th home run of the year. He did it in the 2nd inning. And now a 2-run shot by Mike Stanley here in the 6th. 2-1 Red Sox. Breaking ball over to Damon Buford. Damon is grounded to short and struck out. Absolutely delightful evening after a muggy afternoon. Overcast, raining. Neither side took batting practice outside. They were forced to hit in the cages underneath the stands here at Yankee Stadium. Red Sox play 3 here in New York and then 3 in Cleveland next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Inside, 1-1 now to Damon Buford.
That's an extension of a road trip that the Red Sox have been on. They started out in Seattle. Then they went to Oakland. Then back to New York. They're going to go back to Cleveland to complete this road trip.
Fly ball, left center field. Drifting back is Jeter. 2 outs. Meanwhile, the team that is the closest pursuer to the Red Sox, the Oakland Athletics, play 4 games in Tampa Bay. And then they go back home to play the Kansas City Royals. And if you look at the schedule favors the Oakland Athletics, but you have to also take into consideration that the Athletics are 3 games behind Jimmy Williams' Red Sox.
Well, if you talk to Jimmy, he says it doesn't make any difference who you play. You still have to win the games. Jimmy is definitely from the old school. I mean,
we talked about Tino Martinez or Pedro Martinez being the Cy Young, got it wrapped up. In my view, Jimmy Williams is head and shoulders as far as the manager of the year is concerned. What a job he has done with a team that just does not stack up to other American League teams.
Well, Pedro has been hurt. Saberhagen has been hurt, and they don't really know.
3 times on the disabled list.
They've lost their closer, Gordon, out of the bullpen.
Gone.
They've asked Wakefield to do just about everything.
14
Start,
saves.
middle relief, close. He's platooned. Valentin now is hurt at third base. They're having to use a 20-year-old or 21-year-old there. And they're still in the race. It appeared it would have been so easy for the Red Sox to fold up about a month ago.
Yep.
And to say, well,
all
we'll
the
just take the
excuses were there. Yep.
They were all there. We'll see you later. We'll try to fix it and see you in the year 2000.
Breaking ball in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Veritek.
What I am hearing is the respect now for Jimmy Williams is much more than ever since he took over this ball club for the way that he treated that Pedro Martinez start, for which Pedro showed up late, and he started somebody else. And from that point on, the players took the side of Jimmy Williams and thought Pedro had made a mistake.
That was back on August 14th. Interestingly, Pedro Martinez was the winning pitcher in that game, pitching 4 innings. That is the only game that he did not start this year. Joe Torre with a new book out at the end of the month called Joe Torre's Ground Rules for Winners. I'll tell you, that's one of the ground rules right there. Jimmy Williams establishing just who was boss back on the 14th of August.
You know, you say, well, that's easy because they are the manager. It's not easy today
no,
because
it really
the
isn't,
players
Bobby.
make $9 or $10 million more, and they can go directly to the general manager now and overpass the skipper on the field. It's got so many things that they can do.
This one hit hard to left field, but Ricky Leday is there and makes the catch for the 3rd out. But the Red Sox take the lead on a 2-run opposite field home run by Mike Stanley and lead it 2-1. Middle of the 6th, and Martinez coming back. Lovely evening here at Yankee Stadium. Andy Pettitte has pitched well, but now he has been bested by Pedro Martinez, who after the home run to Chili Davis has retired 10 in a row, striking out 6. Hit hard by Scott Brocious and speared by O'Leary. Yum Yum made the catch. 1 out.
Well, I guarantee you that's what's going through the mind of Martinez on this play right here. Brocious not letting Pedro get ahead of him. He was ready for that fastball, and he hit it hard and lines it. Looked for a moment like Yum Yum was going to let that ball get over his head. But right at the last second, watch this leap, and he times it perfectly. Yum Yum,
says Martinez. There have only been 2 balls hit hard by the Yankees. One, Chili Davis's home run, and that line drive by Brocious. The Yankees have had only 2 base runners. Chuck Knobloch led off the game, being hit by a Martinez fastball. He was thrown out trying to steal second. And then the Chili Davis home run. 2 wicked breaking balls to Girardi. 0-2 to Joe. Girardi stays alive. On deck batter, Chuck Knobloch here in the 6th, 2-1. Red Sox on top of the Yankees. Fouled away. Bobby and I talked about it earlier. The last World Championship the Red Sox won, 1918. 81 years ago. They had a pitcher by the name of Babe Ruth on their staff. Just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Girardi. And there have been so many what-ifs. 4 7-game World Series since 1918. 46, Enos Slaughter scoring from first base. Strike 3 call, 9 strikeouts by Joe Girardi. We will try to sprinkle through, keeping with the weather, even though it's not sprinkling here. But it was today. Our continental scoreboard. There's Oakland over Tampa Bay trying to keep pace with the Red Sox and doing that. Toronto doing the same thing at Detroit. 1967, 7-game World Series against the Cardinals. The great World Series in 1975, the Big Red Machine, the famous Carlton Fisk home run in Game 6 off Pat Darcy. And then in 1986, it made a lot of people believe in the curse of the Bambino. The ball rolling through Buckner's legs The Mets win Game 6, and after trailing 3-0 in the 6th inning of Game 7, they tie it in the 6th, Ray Knight's home run, and they lose that series as Knobloch ducks, but an idea of how wicked that breaking ball is. 2-0 to Chuck.
How about 1978? A shot heard around the world by Bucky Dent.
I was just bringing up the World Series, but not to. I mean, that year they had a 14.5 game lead over the Yankees as late as July 24th. 14.5 games, and had to win the last 6 games to tie the Yankees, which gives you an idea of the torrid pace the Yankees had from July 24th to late September.
Unfortunately, I had to be a part of some ball clubs early on in the 70s. Well, I don't think we won a game at Fenway in 2 years.
You were 0 for 2 years.
We were 0 for 2 years. We had chances to win. Of course, Willie and Chris Chambliss experiencing some of those wonderful World Series playoff games and events that took place versus this huge rivalry in baseball.
3-1 to Chuck Knobloch, and he pops it up. Playable for Wilton Barris, the third baseman. 3 up, 3 down once again. So Martinez has retired 13 in a row since the Davis home run. The Yankees trail 2-1. Top of the 7th inning, 2-1 Boston. Wilton Barris, the third baseman, takes a breaking ball from Andy Pettitte outside and low. Breaking ball hammered by the diving Brocious. So Barris, with his second major league double, is on at second to lead off the 7th. You could read Joe Torre's lips saying he got it up. It was the curveball, and it looked like it was about high thigh high.
Yeah, it was down and in. It appeared to me. There it is, coming down and in, but it didn't have the bite that normally that tight spin on the curveball has. And Barris got some good wood on it. No chance for Brocious.
Now you may see the bunt by Offerman. 1-run ball game here in the 7th. He looked like he wanted to bunt. He has 2 sacrifices this year. He takes a fastball low.
1 run for Pedro Martinez is like 5 runs for anybody else.
Well, that's true. As Jeff Nelson, Joe Torre realizing that, has Jeff Nelson up and throwing. 1 ball, no strikes now to Offerman. Did he go? No, says Jim Reynolds. So 2 balls and no strikes. Offerman wants to bunt. Make him bunt.
And every pitch, Offerman will look down to Wendell Kim. That pitch up high and outside. Now the count in favor of Offerman.
Wants to bunt again. And he takes ball 3. Now Joe Girardi out to talk to Andy Pettitte. Andy cannot find the strike zone in a sacrifice situation.
Well, the tendency for a pitcher, knowing that when you're in the bunting situation, the tendency is to try to throw up in the strike zone to get the guy to try to bunt a bad pitch and bunt it up in the air, not let him bunt it on the ground. And a lot of times you will see that the pitcher does that, and a lot of times they fall behind in the count because they're missing in the strike zone.
That's what Andy Pettitte has had happen to him right here. And Offerman takes ball 4. 4 straight balls when Offerman wanted to bunt. Well, it's 2-1. How do we get here? Our Budweiser game summary. Pedro Martinez has been brilliant. He has struck out 9. He struck out the side in the 5th inning. 3 nasty left-handed batters. How did the Red Sox get the lead? A 2-run home run to right field by Mike Stanley with Nomar Garciaparra aboard. And that's where we are. The Yankees scoring brief. A solo home run by Chili Davis in the second inning. The Yankees have only had 2 base runners, and there are 2 base runners on right now. Mel Stottlemyre out talking to Andy Pettitte. And since Offerman was bunting, you can bet Darren Lewis is bunting.
Well, if they butt Darren Lewis, no doubt they will walk Garciaparra and probably bring in a right-hander to face Mike Stanley. Now, that'll be up to Jimmy Williams to see what he wants to do with Mike Stanley.
Because Reggie Jefferson, the left-handed part of that platoon, is on deck. See how the Yankees play it. Good bunt. Girardi goes to third, safe at third. So Joe Girardi going to third, and beating the play was Wilton Veras.
Well, we'll take a look at it from way up top here at Yankee Stadium, up above home plate. You can see Girardi quickly off with the mask and out there. The play's in front of him, and it appeared at that point that he had a good chance to throw out the runner at third base. For some reason or another, he lost his footing. Let's see if we can see it. He lost his footing, and he threw the ball into the ground.
Yeah, that's really a poor choice. You got to take the sure out. Don't you think, Bobby? Because now you're going to walk Garciaparra, and now you've got Garciaparra hitting with the bases loaded. That is a poor choice by Joe Girardi, the way I see it. Not only that, Jose Offerman wants to bunt. Andy Pettitte walks him on 4 straight pitches. Darren Lewis does bunt, and now the Yankees in a ton of trouble. And Joe Torre is forced to bring in the right-hander, probably Jeff Nelson.
I know that Joe, with the play being in front of him, he just felt like he had a good shot of throwing that and forcing that runner at third. And then they would go from there. I don't think he was even thinking about, you know, walking Garciaparra and bringing in a right-hander.
Yeah, but I mean,
nevertheless, it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he would, even on a good throw, he does not get Wilton Veras. Now, added, and in fairness, you don't know the speed of Veras, but Veras very quick getting to third base. The Yankees in a ton of trouble. We're in the 7th. Bases loaded, nobody out. Red Sox up. They're hopeful of that. You can get your tickets now by calling Ticketmaster at 212-307-1212 or at the Yankee Clubhouse stores and on the web at www.yankees.com.
Well, you talked about the Yankees being up to their necks in water. Woo. With the bases loaded, and one of the premier hitters coming up with the bases loaded in Garciaparra. So work is cut out for Jeff Nelson, and it won't be easy, even though Garciaparra 0 for 2 tonight. An inning that the Red Sox can blow it wide open.
Garciaparra with 2 Grand Slam home runs in 1 game this year. In that game, he drove in 10 in his career. Whew.
For a guy that hits for average, Garciaparra, not one of those real patient hitters at home plate. He likes to swing the bat when he gets in there.
Grounded toward third. Brosius comes home. Throw will not be to first base. Joe Girardi electing to hold on there. So Scott Brosius gets 1 out here, and that'll bring up Mike Stanley, the hitting star for both teams tonight.
Big play there for the Yankees, and a nice play by Brosius. Watch it up top as the play develops. Bases loaded. And the force at home, and no chance to complete the double play. Garciaparra runs real well. But with this out here, even though the bases are still loaded, the double play is set up, and the Yankees could eventually get out of this inning.
And you might say, well, why didn't Scott Brosius go to second base and get the double play? You can't do that. You're giving up another run. And again, Pedro Martinez is the pitcher.
1 run means 5 to a guy like Pedro Martinez.
That's right. 0-1.
In my opinion.
0 and mine too. Scott Brosius did the absolute right thing by coming home then. 0-1 now to Mike Stanley. Good breaking ball by Nelson. 0-2 now to Stanley.
Something the Yankees have out of their bullpen, in especially situations such as this. They have guys that can strike out hitters, and that's what they need is strikeouts sometimes when they're in this situation. Along with Nelson, Stanton.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hanging breaking ball that Nelson got away with. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count remains the same.
Well, his career is not good versus Nelson. And, of course, Nelson, when he is on, he is extremely tough on right-handed hitters.
To Nelson, to Girardi, to Martinez. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
What the Yankees were looking for is the pitcher's best friend is the double play.
Woo! Still 2-1 Boston. After that top of the 7th inning, we need a break. Let's go to Midtown Manhattan to our Fox 5 studios and John Rowland.
You're telling me, Tim. All right, right after the game, the war on those mosquitoes. I'll tell you where they're spraying tonight and over the weekend so you can get ready. Plus, is Mrs. Clinton changing her mind again about clemency at the same time those Puerto Rican terrorists were set free? And Serena or Venus? Which sister is the winner? We'll see you after the game. Back to you guys in the booth.
The break's over. Here's Jeter.
Oh, what a big inning for the Yankees. You talk about lifting your spirit. In that inning, and Nelson coming in to pick up Andy Pettitte in this New York Yankee ball club.
Ball 1 to Jeter. Derek 0 for 2 on the night. One and 1 to Derek.
You know, you look at the season, there's only 21 games left for the Yankees after tonight's game. And then you look at Boston. They've got their best pitcher on the mound tonight, starting this 3-game series. It's a must game for Boston against the Yankees tonight. If they lose this game behind Pedro Martinez, what effect that will have on them, that'll be devastating, not only with the loss, but also their confidence will be destroyed.
Oakland winning their game 5-0 down in Tampa Bay. 1 and 1 to Jeter. Good changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Derek Jeter.
Many angles from underneath sidearm on a changeup on an outside corner. Wow.
Up the ladder, Derek fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeter.
Now Derek striking out in the first inning, and he flew out in the 4th inning. He really hasn't had a good swing versus Martinez tonight.
None of the Yankees have. They've only hit 2 balls hard. 1 a line out by Scott Brocious, and then Chili Davis's home run in the 2nd. Breaking ball is high, 2 and 2.
No hitter likes to stand at home plate for very long because they are trying to time the pitcher. When the pitcher takes too much time, they step out and start it over again.
Punched foul, still 2-2 to Derek Jeter. With his 9 strikeouts tonight, Pedro Martinez with 266 on the year. He has struck out 10 or more 15 times. To give you an idea of how many times that is, the Yankee staff has struck out 10 or more 20 times on the year.
Unbelievable.
Still 2-2 to Derek Jeter. Way outside, full count, now to Jeter.
If you try to compare Garciaparra and Derek Jeter as far as hitters are concerned, Jeter for sure is a more patient hitter at home plate.
Breaking ball, strike 3. 10 strikeouts for Martinez. 16 times this year, 10 or more.
Big strikeout for Pedro Martinez, but a big play for the Yankees as Nelson turns it into a double play. The Yankees get out of that huge inning. In the top of the 7th inning, one more look at it. And you can see Nelly's reaction. And Pettit obviously very, very happy about that double play.
Here's Paul O'Neill. Changeup, low, ball 1. 15 in a row. Check that, 14 in a row have been retired by Martinez since the Chili Davis home run.
Well, the Yankees are certainly aware of Pedro Martinez and the battle that they were up against when this game started. Every run is a premium.
Change up, fouled away, 1-1 to O'Neill.
Jeter has yet to find the combination.
Martinez threw a 3-2 changeup to Chili Davis to get him. Now a 3-2 breaking ball to get Derek Jeter. It's 1-1 to O'Neill. Another changeup is low. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Paul O'Neill with Bernie Williams on deck. What a great ball game this is.
I don't think the Yankees or the Red Sox thought it was going to be any other than what a great ball game that we're seeing right now with Pettit and Martinez.
Mike Stanley, the hitting star, 3 for 4, but he did ground into the 1-2-3 double play. But it was Stanley's 17th home run that put the Red Sox ahead in the 6th inning. Three and 1 now to Paul O'Neill with 1 out and nobody on. Red Sox on top 2-1 here in the 7th.
You know, as long as I have been here with this Yankee organization, been a part of it, calling games, playing, that even though the pennant is not on the line, when the Red Sox and the Yankees get together to play a game, it's always exciting. You got about a third of the fans that are here from Boston. They come down from Fenway. And just like when the Yankees go up to Fenway, there's about a third of Yankee fans that go up there to cheer for their ball club.
Breaking ball on a 3-1 count. You don't know what he's going to throw. 3-2 now to Paul O'Neill.
All you know is that you better be ready.
Bernie Williams on deck. David Cohn will not be pitching in this Boston series. It will be Hideki Arabu tomorrow against Mark Portugal. Roger Clemens against Brett Saberhagen on Sunday. Full count to O'Neill. Fastball, got it. 11 strikeouts for Martinez. 2 outs here in the 7th for Ruther.
Al Martinez certainly living up to the billing that he got coming into this game with his 20 wins and way ahead as far as pitchers Triple Crown is concerned, and showing domination tonight just like he did in that All-Star game when he was named the most valuable player.
Bernie Williams now. Strike 1 to Williams. Take a look at our General Motors trivia quiz. Who is the only pitcher to win the Cy Young Award in each league? Change up right on the black. 0-2 to Bernie Williams. Now we will tell you this, that 2 pitchers have a chance to do that this year. Pedro Martinez, if he wins the Cy Young Award, he's already won it in the National League. Randy Johnson's won it in the American League and is the front runner to win it in the National League. So they would become the 2nd and 3rd pitchers to win the Cy Young Awards in each league. 0-2 to Williams. Breaking ball, got him. Pedro Martinez strikes out Jeter, O'Neill, and now Bernie Williams. Still 2-1 Red Sox. Bobby, a little sample of what the Yankee and Red Sox fans are going to have throughout the weekend, huh?
Well, what did you expect? If you were going to tune into this biggest rivalry, that's Brett Saberhagen waiting his turn. It will come up on Sunday against this Yankee ball club. Right now it's Nelson against Husky. And the Yankees getting out of a huge inning back in the 7th with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the Yankee pitching coming through, allowing no runs in that inning. But the Red Sox still lead at 2-1 here in the top of the 8th. Breaking ball up high. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Well, you got to figure with Troy O'Leary on deck that Nelson surgery during the season, off the disabled list. It always takes a little bit of time for that arm strength to build back up. Hit hard, but Jeter is there. Husky is gone, and there's 1 out. Well, we talked about the trivia quiz brought to you by General Motors. Who is the only pitcher to win the Cy Young Award in each league? And the answer is Gaylord Perry. He took Greece to the National League, and he took Greece and had it in the American League.
And you're not talking about the Broadway play either.
I'm talking about lard. That slicky, slimy, slippery stuff.
Ew.
What a job done by Jeff Nelson tonight. So a pitching change here at Yankee Stadium, 1 out of the 8th, and we'll be back right after this. Job well done by Nelson, and Mike Stanton coming in here in the 8th. Well, that's the right-handed punch from the right side from Nelson. Now Joe Torre goes to his left-hander to try to punch a few out here, and he will face the left-handed batter Troy O'Leary. O'Leary 2 for 2, and those 2 hits came versus Andy Pettitte. The appeal asked by Derwood Merrill. Derwood said no, he did not go around, so it's ball 1 on O'Leary.